I was in class Thursday morning and we were setting up an installation for one of our art projects, and there was a kitten in the bushes.
You can kind of see them around like behind the Calder Art Center, and I don't know, I usually just think they're cute because you're excited because there's cats.
We call these cats community cats, and they are either a friendly cat who is displaced from its home as either being lost or maybe put out because it was no longer wanted, or the people moved away and felt it was okay to leave their cat behind, which is never good.
One time when I was in a studio for my honors class, we actually saw a guy going back with a couple of live traps, and a girl in our class asked her professor, why does that guy have traps with him? So she had to explain to us that a lot of the art students will get cats and then they'll get sick of them, or they just don't have time for them anymore. So they'll release them into the wild and not really care about their well-being anymore.
Part of the problem is that we have a throwaway society. The notion somehow that you can have an animal, be it a cat, a dog, a ferret, or whatever, as long as it's convenient to you, is reprehensible. And I think probably at college campuses across the United States, there are colonies of feral cats because somebody, in their complete disregard for the welfare of an animal, just negligently decided, I no longer want this creature, there it goes.
I do. I have several friends who actually aren't supposed to own cats in their apartments, but they do anyway.
I think that when people do that and they have a cat that they're keeping on campus, they're trying to keep it hidden, and it's in a small space, they think that they're doing a good thing for the pet, but in reality, the pet doesn't have any quality of life, and that's what a pet in a home is all about, a quality of life.
So many people refuse to recognize this, refuse to understand it. Animals need respect, they need proper care, they need nurturing. Locking them up in a dorm room and ignoring them, keeping them prisoner in a tiny space, is not the way to raise an animal.
I would never encourage anybody to have a cat or any pet illegally, because usually you'll obtain the cat and then for something will happen and you'll have to let it go. And a lot of times those cats end up in the shelter, or the student is so afraid of getting in trouble they might just put them out just to keep themselves from getting in trouble, and then we have a lot more problems with homeless cats.
We have extremely harsh and horrible winters here, and it's very difficult for even a good hunter to find proper food. And many of these cats then do not survive.
I think they should be spayed or neutered if you're not going to be able to monitor them, if you're not going to keep them as your own pet or like as an indoor pet, just because you don't want to create a bigger problem or a bigger population and then not really have the means to take care of them.
I am all for TNR, that's trap, neuter, and release.
I don't think it's a bad thing to have stray cats neutered and spayed, because, you know, just keeping that population under control is ultimately better for the kittens, but I think ultimately it's less of a burden than having to deal with, you know, more and more cats down the road.
We have practiced TrapNeuterReturn in Allendale at the campus at Grand Valley. There have been instructors and students alike who have made painstaking attempts at helping the cats in the area, and it's not necessarily easy when a cat is on campus. Unless it's coming around the area where you can easily feed it, it is very difficult. However, these very dedicated people have sought us out. We gave them advice. They were able to trap the cats. In some cases they were returned. In some cases the cats were friendly, and the people worked to help find them forever homes.
They're getting neutered, which is really good for maintaining the population, because population control for stray animals is really good.
Some of these cats, they've lived their entire lives out on the streets, and that's all they know. They don't want to be in a home. So the best thing we can do for them is neuter or spay them and release them again. If you can get involved in that and set up a program, it will eventually, they will just kind of die out from attrition. If they're not allowed to breed, they can't continue to grow. So eventually the colony will just shrink down and it solves the problem.
If you're going to become a pet owner, you have to make a lifetime commitment, that is the lifetime of the animal, and to remain a responsible person.
A good cat owner is going to have all the needs of the cats met physically, and regular vet checks, fresh food and water daily, plenty of stimulating toys, a lot of love.
And if they were responsible or caring, they would know not to bring an animal with them for their first year of college. That's a lot to take on.